y'all, so today I'm doing a video on 5 books that I gave 5 stars to when I originally read them, but if I reread them today, I think I would give a lower rating. And this idea came to me based on a video Dylan the Reader did, and it's actually a tag, which is probably the title of this video, but it is past favorite or old favorite or used to be favorite books tag, which basically he talked about books that used to be his favorite, which are no longer his favorites anymore, or he doesn't think he would consider them favorites anymore. And the books I'm going to list, I don't know if I ever consider them favorites, but I enjoyed them enough when I read them to give them 5 stars. I also think part of that has to do with my reading taste changing, and also what I have to have in a book for it to be 5 stars. That's also changed. But so let's get into this. The first one is actually funny because I vaguely remember reading it. And I read it 2 years ago, and it's Heroic Measures by Jill Cement. All of the books, by the way, will be linked in the description below to their Goodreads page if you want to go check out other reviews. So anyways, I gave this book 5 stars. I think it took place like right after 9/11 in the book, but I don't remember much more than that. So like giving a book 5 stars and then like not really remembering it very well, it probably isn't a 5-star book for me. You know, because to me 5-star books are books that like I would want to reread. They would have impacted me in a major way, and so going through and looking at my Goodreads shelves of my 5-star books, it was quite funny actually. The next one is Legend by Marie Lu, and I read it. It was great when I read it. But again, like, I remember the basic storyline about it, but it's not a book I'd want to reread. I don't want to continue in the series. I think I only had, like, the last book left. I don't even know what the last book is called, but, yeah, it was kind of just okay, I guess. I mean, I enjoyed it at the time, but it's not something that stuck with me. The next one was Perfect Room by Lauren De Stefano, and I absolutely loved this when I first read it. I love the writing style. I love the premise of the book. Basically, there's like this world, and they're up in the sky, and then you have the earth below. But these people know nothing. The ones that are up in the sky know nothing about the earth below, and it's kind of this whole thing about, should you be satisfied with where you are, and can you question the accepted standards and the accepted thought process. So it was great. I think if I reread it, I'd probably give it 3 or 4 stars. It was still a great book. I don't have the inkling to reread it. At the time, I wanted to continue on in the series, and to be honest, I've had the chance to because I've seen the books at the library, but I've never wanted to pick them up. It was kind of one of those books that was great at the time that I read it, and it was a great escape from reality, but it's not one that I would want to revisit, and it's not one that I would say has still impacted me. And I think part of that is because I think I've read better books since. The next one might be a surprise to you guys, but it is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I read this series, I think the 3rd book came out about a year before I read the series, and I read all 3 books within the span of about 2 weeks while going to school and taking 18 credit hours. I devoured them. And this is one where I didn't watch the movies. I think one of them is on Netflix, to be honest. I wanted to when it was the buzz, when it got picked up for a movie release. I got excited about that, but then I never went to go see it, and now it's been a couple years and I don't really have the inkling to see it. It's one of those like movies that like I might do if it was like a book to movie adaptation challenge for like a readathon, but like other than that, I don't really have the desire to. It's not that I don't like the books now, it's that when I think about it, there's this love triangle in there, and I think it was completely unnecessary. And there was other portions of the book that, again, I felt like were unnecessary now looking back on it, that I didn't care were unnecessary when I read it, mind you. So it's a book that I would still recommend to somebody, like if they're not a reader, because it's very gripping, but it's not one that I personally feel like I need to reread. I need to relive. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's no longer that for me. I don't know if it would have been my favorite of all times even then, but I did really, really enjoy them back in the day. And the last one is Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. I actually gave Shatter Me, I think, only 4 stars, and even that I think I would downgrade to a 3 stars. It's funny, I actually DNF'd Ignite Me. And I think the reason I DNF'd Ignite Me was it's the same sort of reasons why I would give Unravel Me less than 5 stars now. And it's that it's very kind of almost like meta, like she's in her mind and you'll hear these statements that she says and then she like crosses them out, which is basically her thought process of like, oh no, that's not true, like how can I rephrase that? And it's like, it's totally unnecessary. Can't she just say what she's thinking? Like, I don't need to hear the same thing phrased 2 or 3 different times. And on top of that, there's an unnecessary love triangle. In Unravel Me, there is this plot twist that didn't really need to occur. Or technically, I think it happened in Shatter Me. But, like, it's like, I don't feel like it needed to occur. I won't be picking up the next 3 books in this series that she just now announced she's writing, which I don't get the point of, to be honest. I know Whitney, is obsessed, right, with these books, and so she was all excited when they got 3 more, but I could care less. I don't even understand the book deal behind that. But Tahereh Mafi, I feel like her Furthermore series is so much better, and I haven't even read Furthermore. It's on my TBR for the month. I have it on hold through the library, so I'm hoping to get that in. But I loved her, I can't even think of the name of the book. I just talked about it in the other video. It's Witchland or Witchmore or Witch something. It was fantastic, and I loved her writing style in that. And I feel like that's where her craft is. Like, I don't feel like it's this Shatter Me world that she did. It's just, it's not that I don't like Tahereh Mafi as a writer. It's that she has since done things that are way better. And so it's like, I don't want to go revisit that world that isn't all put together. So I hope you guys like this. I will link down in the reader's video down below. It technically is a tag video. I just put my own spin on it because I don't think I considered any of these 5 books favorites. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.